Hello everyone, it's Hannah here from Virtually Fluent. Welcome to today's video, which is another conversation corner, although we will quickly review some vocabulary at the beginning, and this is all about dating and relationships and those life milestones within a relationship. So first of all, we will have a look at some key vocabulary for the different stages of relationship, and then I will talk a little bit about my own relationship so you can see that vocabulary being used in real life. So let's get started with the conversation corner on relationships. So we're going to start right at the very beginning of those stages of a brand new relationship, which would probably be the stages of dating. Of course, you have to meet someone right at the very beginning, and maybe you would go on a date or do some sort of fun activity together. This could be a blind date, perhaps somebody like a friend or a colleague has set you up with somebody you know or somebody completely unknown, and you really hope that nobody would stand you up, which means that they wouldn't turn up to the date. Of course, you then have to get to know somebody. It could be that they are your complete opposite, although we do say that opposites attract, or it could be that you have a lot in common with that person. And of course, the more that you date, the more, I guess, you would find out about your partner or the other person. Now, the second stage would be moving on to something with a little bit more commitment. It could just be that you decide to keep it casual. It could just be that you have a fling, which is a sort of short-term relationship. Or it could be that you're moving towards those more serious commitments. It might be that you are falling in love with your partner. You officially ask them to become your boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever it may be. It could just be that you are attracted to somebody at this stage. And then next we move on to that really more serious form of commitment. So the first stage would be getting engaged, which is when one person asks another person to officially marry them. So that would be a proposal. And then of course you have that stage of actually getting married or having a civil partnership. And of course there's different names for that depending on where you are in the world. It might be that you then go slightly further and you decide to buy a house together or invest in other assets together, buy a car, maybe get some pets together, or even have some children together. And of course, as each of the years go on, then you would have anniversaries to celebrate how long you've been together. And unfortunately, some relationships do end. You have the more official ending, which is a divorce. That would be a legal end to a relationship. You have just separation as well, which is perhaps where you are still married, for example, or still in a civil partnership, but sort of just live two separate lives. Or if you are in a relationship without that serious legal commitment, then you would break up or split up. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about the stages in my own relationship. I have been with my husband now for about 10 years. I met him when we were on our Erasmus year, which is a year abroad where both of us were studying abroad, and that was actually in Germany. I studied German as part of my university degree. Of course, the early stages were getting to know each other, going on dates, and then taking that step further by getting to know each other's families and friends too, and that was all while we were in Germany. He then asked me out, so to ask somebody out is to officially ask them to be your girlfriend or boyfriend. So even though we had been going out together for less than a year, we decided to continue our relationship. Both of us, however, at the end of our German Erasmus year, did need to return to our own countries and complete our university degrees, our final years of university. So actually we had a long distance relationship for around a year and a half, although we did see each other every 6 months. He was in Latin America, I was in the UK, and we did travel to each other's continents to see the country and of course to see each other. By that point we had been going out with each other for a good few years and we had fallen in love with each other. We actually decided to move in together. We actually both moved country to Spain and we lived there for around 3 years. And in Spain was when we bought our first pets together and our first home where we first lived together too. We eventually decided to return back to my country, the UK, where we could settled down. We have rented different accommodation and more recently bought a house together. And while we've been here in the UK, he did propose to me. So we were engaged for a year before we got married. And now we have our beautiful home. And just over a month ago, I gave birth to our first son as well. And now we celebrate our wedding anniversary and many other events from our relationship year on year. So those would be anniversaries. So hopefully you can see that relationships vocabulary being used in real life, and you have learned a little bit of vocabulary and some key phrases to talk about relationships in English. If you did learn something new or simply liked today's video, go ahead and give us a like, a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn those notifications on so you know exactly when we release new English grammar, vocabulary and pronunciation videos so you can boost your English language level. That's everything for today. This is Hannah from Virtually Fluent, bringing English to life.